everyone, it's Brandon Bornanson, your host of Sales Strategies, Tips, and Best Practices to maximize your potential. Today I want to talk about the importance of locking in annual contracts, not only for you and your company, but ultimately to maximize the success of your customer, and also how to overcome when customers ask at the end of the deal to get an opt-out to an annual contract. And today, why is it important for companies to commit to annual contracts? And this is obvious to everyone at the company working, but for the salespeople, it doesn't come as obvious to communicate this to the prospect on why it is so critical for them to commit to an annual contract to maximize their success. And I'm going to go through each of the reasons why prospects need to commit to an annual contract when buying your products and services and the benefits that they're going to acquire from that commitment. And then I'm going to share a sales objection response to overcome, hey, we need an opt-out in this contract. So the first reason, the partner can invest maximum resources into building the best product possible for the customer. If a vendor has no idea how much money is going to come in the door and out the door every month, how are they going to be able to figure out how many people can they hire into product management, into product strategy, into product development? So essentially, when customers and prospects commit to an annual contract, they're empowering that partner that they go with to invest the maximum amount of resources into building the best product for the customer. The second reason, the partner can invest the maximum amount of resources into servicing that customer. If they don't know how much money is coming in and out of the door, if they have a bunch of opt-outs or just monthly customers that aren't committed to annual contracts, they can't staff the maximum amount of people into customer success, customer service, getting all the best customer service and customer success technologies, you name it. So if you want to have the best experience, the best customer success with whatever product you go with, by committing to an annual contract, you're empowering your partner to hire the adequate or more than adequate enough resources to maximize your success leveraging that product. The third reason why it's great for prospects to invest in an annual contract to maximize their success using your product is because the partner can invest the maximum amount of resources into training the customers on how to best leverage and be successful with that product. To invest in training, you need to have the time, the capital, the resources, the people to train your customers on how to best use your product. And annual contracts empower companies to be able to build the training programs to be successful. Look at some of the top companies out in the world. Salesforce, Marketo, HubSpot, Eloqua, Oracle, you name it. All these companies have annual contracts and they invest all of that cash into training their customers, into customer service, into building the best product. So that's the third reason. The fourth reason why it's important for prospects to invest in annual contracts to maximize their success with the product that they're buying is because the partner can invest the maximum amount of resources into research and development to fuel the innovation of that product. If you think about any company that's highly innovative, Boeing, Adobe, Intuit, Google, Yahoo, you name it, all these organizations, they do annual contracts and then they fuel a portion of that revenue coming in every month to research and development, to continue innovating the product to maximize your prospect's success. Your prospect is asking for new features, new functionalities that can allow them to accelerate their growth, but who's going to fund that? The customer has to be committed to the contract annually so that the vendor can take a portion of those proceeds to invest in research and development to maximize the innovation of the product. And then lastly, why it's so critical for prospects to commit to annual contracts is because it empowers the partner to raise the maximum amount of capital required to fuel the future growth of the product, since all investors, all shareholders develop their valuations of a company solely based on annual recurring revenue. So let's say you sign with a partner to, build self-autonomous cars for you, or whatever it may be, to build a accounting software, to build a sales software, to build marketing software, you name it. For that company to continue to grow, it needs to have annual contracts so it can tell investors, hey, all of these great customers love our product, they need it, they want it, they can't live without it. Look at all the revenue we've generated. This is all annual recurring revenue. And that empowers that vendor, that partner, to pitch investors on a seed round, on a Series A, on a Series B, on a Series C, on IPOing on the New York Stock Exchange. And what every company does with that money is it hires more and more resources to continue expanding, to deliver on the mission, the purpose, the core values, the goals of building that product to help the prospect accomplish their goals and dreams. So when companies commit to their vendors' annual contracts, it allows them to accomplish everything they need to deliver the best product with the best innovation, with the best benefits, with the best customer service, with the best training, and the best long-term capability of success, which ultimately would increase the customer's long-term growth and success. So when customers invest in partnering with a vendor, they're basically maximizing their own success. And what I want to do is I want to share a sales objection. So I break it down so it sounds very easy to understand. Here are the 5 or 6 reasons why you need to, we only do annual contracts, and this is to ultimately benefit you. But I want to share a great sales objection that you can leverage when someone says, do I need to commit to an annual contract? We can't commit to an annual contract. We need an opt-out in the annual contract. We only do month-to-month, you name it. And let's just say someone says, hey, Brandon, do I need to commit to an annual contract at Seamless? And I'm going to come back and say, look, yes, Seamless contracts are annual by default. We found that customers who commit to a full year of using Seamless are more successful at maximizing sales than anyone else over the long term. And since your long-term success is our goal and our mission, we have to encourage those practices that support your long-term growth and goals from the beginning of this strategic partnership. Bottom line, Mr. Prospect, annual contracts make happier long-term Seamless customers. And we want you to be happy as you get the best product with the best service and the best ongoing training to maximize your success that's available out on the market today. Sign here and here. And that's what I would use when you're working with prospects to overcome, hey, we need an opt-out. Hey, we can't do annual contracts. Hey, we only do month-to-month. You name it. Just leverage that sales objections response. Come back and stay firm. We're big on not reducing your price, because when you reduce your price, you don't increase the value to your prospects. And we agree with contracts. When you reduce the length of the contract, it does not increase value to your prospect, to your customer. The only way to increase value to your customer is to continuously invest as much money as possible into innovating the product, building the product, delivering the best product service, the best customer success training, the best R&D, you name it. And the only way to do that is if you have customers that are committing to annual contracts. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. It's Brandon Bornancin, your host of Sales Strategies, Tips, and Best Practices to Crush Quota. I hope you found this of value, and I hope that it helps you in locking down as many annual contracts as possible to maximize your success. And